Welcome to our YouTube channel, Tech Steering.
Hello all. So in this series, we are going to focus on the Pydantic AI. This is the website of Pydantic AI, and I really love the statement which they have made here. Basically, what they are saying is it's a less painful framework to build the production grade applications with the generative AI. Now, if you are interested in theory, you could go through this section, why to use the Pydantic AI. And we are going to go through all these things in the upcoming tutorials. But very briefly, it's built by the Pydantic team. It's model agnostic, which means it supports multiple models like OpenAI, Anthropic, Gemini, etc. And seamless integration with the Logfire to do the real-time debugging or to do the performance monitoring. It's type safe, Python centric. The structured responses, like you could get the response in the given format, for example, JSON or string, etc. Dependency injection system and the streamed responses. We'll talk about all these things in the upcoming tutorials. Now, the focus of this tutorial is to run the basic program using the Pydantic AI. Let's jump onto it. If you see on the left hand side, this is the installation. And what we need is, we need to install the library Pydantic AI. Now, there is something called UV as well. We are not going to use it, but just in case you are interested in knowing what UV is, I'm going to share this Medium article with you guys. This article talks about the difference between pip and UV. But we'll stick to the pip. Let's go to the VS Code. Let's create the virtual environment. I'm on Windows right now, so let me quickly do it. And let's go inside the virtual environment. Now let's quickly create a hello world.py. All right. And if you come back to the Pydantic AI website and if you go to the introduction on the left hand side, scroll it a bit. And here you will get the first hello world example. So I'm just going to copy this, paste it here. We missed to install the Pydantic AI library. Let's install it. So let's go back to the installation once again, copy this and install the Pydantic AI library. So this one is installed. Now let's see the program. So what we are doing is we are importing the agent and then we are creating the object of the agent and we are using Gemini 1.5 Flash and the prompt is be concise, reply with the one sentence. Now, next what we are doing is using the agent object, we are using the function run_sync and we are asking a query. So our query is where does hello world come from, and last but not the least, we are just printing result.data. Now see this function run_sync. And if you go back to the Pydantic website right here, and if you click on the agents on the left hand side, and scroll it down right here. So running agents. So we have three ways to run the agent. Currently we are using agent.run_sync. There are two other ways, .run and run_stream, which we'll talk about in the upcoming tutorials. Now, if you try running it, it will give you error. So let's try it. And you see there is an error. Reason being, we are using Gemini 1.5, but we have not given the key for the Gemini 1.5. So let's create a key. Before that, let's create a file with the name .env. All right. And what we need to do is we need to create a key with this name, which is Gemini_API_key equal to, and inside the double quotes, we need to give the key, and we are going to create the key in a minute. To get the key, you need to open this site, which is ai.google.dev. So let's go to the browser. So on the top right, click on Get a Gemini API key. And right here, click on the Create API key. Now, before I click this, let me open the other site, which is the console.cloud.google.com. So on this site, I'm going to click here on this box and click on All. So if you see, currently I have only one project, which is the old project with the name Flutter Dialog. I deleted the rest of the projects, for this demonstration. Now let's jump back to the other screen and click on Create API Key. Click on the copy, and if you notice, the key has been created, and paste the key right here. Save it. And now let's go back to this one. Let's refresh this. Click here again, go to all. So if you see, it has created a project with the name Gemini API. And if I go there again and if I try to create the API key again, so rather than creating the new key, it's asking me to choose the existing project. So I could choose the project and create another API key. Okay. So now let's jump back to the VS Code. So now before we run this program, we need to make sure that, this key gets loaded. To do that, what we need to do is we need to install another library. It is python.env. Copy this one and let's install it. And by the time it's installing, let's scroll down, click on the getting started. And right here, let's copy these two lines. Go back and paste it here. Now let's run our program. So here we got the response. Our query was, where does hello world come from? And the response is, it got originated in 1972. So let's change our query. So our query is, who is the PM of India? And we got the response, Narendra Modi is the current Prime Minister of India. And let's ask one more question before we wrap up. Let's say, how many colors are there in the rainbow? So we got the response. There are 7 colors commonly identified in a rainbow. So friends, that's all for the today's tutorial. Let's catch up in the next one. Thank you.